I'm back. Hopefully some of y'all will have a chance to pop on. I can't read from that far away with these glasses on. I've got these ready to go. I need to add a tip to this. I was going to do that off camera and I forgot. Just to save some time. But let's see. 5 is probably too big. I hate to add tips, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just deal with it being short, or I'll do a repair with a coffee filter. But this one is so super tiny. I don't know if you can even see. It's like I have no nail on that one. So I'm going to actually do a tip. Hey girl. I'm glad you could pop on with me. One second. Oh, by the way, I have to share this with y'all too, because this is my favorite glue ever. I actually haven't tried our nail glue. I have a couple of them, but I actually haven't even opened them because I love this stuff so much. It's Gorilla Glue, and I think I've bought it at Home Depot, and I think I've also got it at Joann's. You can use it like the old crazy glue, like through the tip with drips, or you can use the brush, which I love the brush. And this, I actually, it's almost completely empty, like it's all the way down and it's not gotten hard. It's gotten a little bit stringy, if you can see, it's a little stringy, but it's got a really fine brush on it. Really fine brush, like a nail polish brush. And the thing I love about it so much is that actually, I'm really bad about gluing my nail tips down crooked. And with crazy glue, once it's down, you're screwed. Like, you have to figure out how to compensate. This, you can actually lift it up and down for about 30 or 45 seconds. It takes about 30 to 45 seconds to get a good adherence to your nail. Or at least for me. I don't know. I don't have anybody else's experience to go off of it, just me. But that way, that's still crooked though. There you go. All right, so what did I do with my trimmers? My nail clipper. Pardon me for 1 second. I know it's here somewhere. Dean, come help, please. I don't know what I did with my... Oh, never mind. I'm blind. It's right here. Anyway, love that glue. I want to say it's like $5 or $6. I'm not sure. I've got 2 containers of it here because this one is actually about half full, looks like. But it doesn't dry out. It hasn't gotten gross. Like I said, this one that I'm using out of is almost completely empty. It says Gorilla Super Glue Brush and Nozzle is the name of it. Highly recommended. And I've never tried anything else, so I've never been able to get glue to adhere. But I am doing a tip on this finger just because it is so super short. Sometimes I repair using a coffee filter. Sometimes I just do the nail and don't worry about it being shorter. Sorry about that. Okay, hopefully that's gonna look relatively good. Okay, I did go ahead and do these fingers part way just to save some time and to see how it looks. I'm loving this color. It doesn't match any of my clothes, but that's okay. I guess it doesn't have to. It's the one hubby picked. So this hand I haven't done anything on. So we're going to do this one start to finish. This is exactly what I would be doing start to finish when I sit down to do my nails. I just got a little bit of a head start on the other hand over here. I'm just going to shape this tip a little bit. Shaping is one of my downfalls. Like, that's one area that I really am not that good in. I've gotten better, but still not great, but definitely gotten better. Part of it is really taking my time and really looking at it to make sure they look good, and also being able to see what I'm doing. Old lady eyes, you know. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If I'm wearing my contacts, I can't get as good of a look as if I'm wearing my regular glasses where I can take them off and stick my fingers right up in my face, because I'm nearsighted, but I also have 40-plus-year-old eyes, so I do need corrective lenses for reading, but mine is different than some people's. So I can see super, super close to my face, but not to read. Just, it's weird. I don't know. Without my contacts in. With no corrective eyewear at all. Okay, so I'm just roughing these up a little bit. I'm not going to do much because my nails are so thin. I don't want to actually break them. One reason I went ahead and did these is because I had a couple that had tears in them, and I didn't want to end up tearing them before I could get them strengthened. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me swipe that notification away so I can see what's going on. See, this one's super short. This technically could use a tip, but I'm not going to put a tip on it. It doesn't look as bad for it to be a pinky as it does one of the middle fingers. That kind of drives me a little crazy. And I'm going to try my best to repair that one with the dip, the clear dip. You could do it with a color too, but I'm going to try to make it to where the shape is better. We'll see if I can. The other day I had one that actually had a tear down into it. It was like a little hole, so it was separated, and I actually kept manipulating my clear until I got perfect coverage, and you couldn't even tell I had a problem. So that's a tip I'm going to share with y'all today too, something I learned along the way. You can actually touch the dip and kind of press it down if you need to, or things like that. All right, let me push this out of the way. Let me close this up so it doesn't smell. This is my removal baggie. I'll just chunk this. I won't keep that. All right, so I'm done with the tips. Told you about the glue. For anybody that popped on, this stuff is bomb. Let me know. I'll give you info. Now, personally, I use two different brushes, only because this dark one, only because I ended up with so much stuff anyway. I use this for my clear and light colored dips, and I use this for my dark dips, because I have found that, well, I don't know if you can see that powder coming out of there. If you're doing a really light, like say a really light pink or something, and you did red before and you go to swipe away, sometimes that red can adhere to it and it changes the color. So for me personally, I haven't heard of anybody else doing that, but I do use two separate brushes. And you can buy kabuki brushes from any drugstore too. We do sell extras, but you can get them from any drugstore. So I do recommend it myself. It's better for me. So I've already pushed my cuticles back. I did that really quick because most of you probably know how to do your cuticles. Now that invisible cuticle I'm talking about, let's see. Tell me if you can see this, because I'm not even sure if you can see it. And I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of go scrape that away. But if you can see, I've got a little bit flaking off. And like I said, when I first started doing it, I was afraid it was the real nail, but it's not. It's like, I guess it's kind of like exfoliating your skin. You know how you get that layer of dead cells? It's kind of the same thing. And this helps immensely for me with getting the dips to adhere and really not give me any lifting problems. And again, it's because my nail beds are oily. And this is kind of curved, so I'm not going at it with like a knife tip or anything. Hey Denise, thanks for joining. Getting ready to do the fun stuff now. The soaking off is not the fun, and neither is the prep, but the dipping and the seeing it all come together, that's the fun stuff. So I'm just making sure I get that, because I've decided not to take this stuff with me to Florida, so I don't want to have any lifting issues. Like I said, I'll do a fill, quote unquote, on Sunday. Hopefully, if I don't procrastinate. Just so it's kind of freshened up for our trip. I thought about taking a small supply of stuff with me, but I decided not to. Okay. So these are ready. So the first step, after you have your nail prep done, and that can be anything from taking a buffing block and just this side's rougher than the white side. The white side is for like, but you can rough it up a little bit with that. You can use these, but be careful. This is the heavy grit or whatever, the 100 over 180 deal that comes in the kits. Hey, Daddy or Mom, whoever's watching. Mom, if it's you, that's why I didn't answer you. Sorry. This one's rough, so just be careful. Like file with a really light hand so you don't damage your own nail bed too soon. And these will work with tips. Like I said, I'm doing a tip on this one. The only difference is with step 1, you're going to do your nail primer. On your natural nails, you're going to go over the entire nail. If you've got tips on, you're only going to put primer on the part of your nail that is your natural nail, not the tip. I don't remember why. You just don't. I'm going to actually rough up this fake nail a little bit. I don't think I did last time, and I didn't have any problems, but I'm going to just go ahead and rough it up a bit so that the dips will really stick to it well. And again, no primer on fake nails, but anywhere that natural nails is going to be where you're going to dip, hold the blue up so I can see it. Okay. It's not done. I've just done the preliminary dips. This is what Greg picked. I've just done the preliminary 2 dips in clear and 2 dips in the glitter. And I haven't done the activator or the top coat or anything. So it's not shiny yet. All right, so here we go. Primer. And I personally do 2 layers of primer just because of, again, those oily nail beds of mine. And these are all my natural nails except for the ring finger. So I've never been able to grow my nails out unless I've got acrylic underneath. And these dips give me the strength I need. Pardon all the dust and the hair all over me and stuff. This is the one with the tip on it, so we're just going to do the natural nail part. What'd you think of the blue? And who is this? Is this my dad or my mom? All right, and then you're going to make sure it dries. It dries almost instantaneous, but I'm going to give it a couple of seconds. No comment at this time. That's my dad. That's my dad. All right, second layer of primer. And I've always needed 2 layers of primer, even at the nail shop. So that's kind of where that comes from. I actually don't remember what our directions say. I don't remember if it calls for 1 layer of primer or 2. But 2 works better for me. And again, the tips that I share are what works for me. You may find that things are different for you. So certainly play around with it and see. Because you never know. Like I said, I've had some customers that right out of the gate, they're wearing their nails for 2 weeks. They're not having any lifting. They're not having any problems. They look like they just walked out of the salon. All their lines are perfect. It just the bomb. And I've had to learn my way. It's taken me several months to really perfect which I'm still not perfect by any means, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was. That's the problem I had, and I always had to go to the salon. Okay, these are dry, so now we're going to go with step 2, which is our base coat. And for those of you that didn't see earlier, my inside of my brush had stuck to the bottle. If that happens, you just put the white piece back down over it and kind of bend it a little bit, and that loosens it, and you should be good to go. All right, have fun, Dad. Bye. All right, so first I'm going to do clear, which I have right here in front of me. You always want to mix up your dips so that they're well blended. This is only half full, so I can shake it up really good and it should be fine. And then you want to do thin layers. That's part of the problem I had in the beginning, is I was getting it way too thick. You want to do thin layers because you're going to do multiple layers, and you want to try to keep the base coat off of your regular nail and off of your cuticle. And you're going to just gently, now they say 45-degree angle. When the dip container is full and you do 45-degree angle, for me, I would still get bumps. It would push, what it does, the base coat is very similar to super glue. It dries really quick, it dries hard, it dries fast. So what would happen to me is when I would stick my nail in there, it would push. This is also what happens when you get it too thick, is that it pushes some of it back and creates like this little hump, which you can file out. But if you can know ahead of time how to avoid it, it's much better off. You're much better off. So, and then you see I just dipped it. I haven't tapped it off yet. So I'm going to tap off in the container. And if you need to touch it, it's fine. If there's anything, any bumps you see or any weird places not adhering, that's fine. You can touch it. You just want to make sure you got a good layer of dip and you're not touching the sticky part. And again, I use 2 separate brushes, dark powders for this one and light powders for this one. It really wouldn't matter in this case because I'm doing it with the blue glitter, but it also keeps me from whatever, contaminating. So brush my clear off with this one. And I haven't heard anybody else say that. That's just something I've decided that I like. So that's one dip on that one. We're going to do another dip. So I'm doing 2 dips of clear, 2 dips of the blue glitter, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go over it with that plain blue or not. I may do one nail and see how it looks, like as an accent nail, and then if I don't like it, I don't have to do all of them. So for me, kind of what I do is I tilt the bottle up. I stick my nail in gently. Well, actually, I've got it backwards. I stick my nail down in there, and then I just kind of very carefully push my nail through it. Or sometimes I even lay it down into the dip powder. And that actually gets you a better layer. But when the container's full, it's harder to do that. And I'm just getting me a really good, I don't know if you can see that, how I got it off my cuticle, and it's relatively even. That's just going to look better for my final look. All right, so there we got 2. Now, usually I do it over a plate. I actually use a hefty plate. And when you've got a full container, use a cupcake liner, which I know they're here somewhere. Oh, there they are. I can't see with these glasses on. Too far away. You take a cupcake liner and put your thing of dip right in it like that. And when you dip, because this is super full, and when you stick your finger in it, a lot of times it'll spill out. And this enables you to be able to kind of fold up the cupcake liner and pour it right back in the container, so you're saving all that dip that's spilling out. That was an awesome tip. And the cupcake liners, the dip doesn't stick to it, so it's cool like that. All right, so that was the thumb. And normally this is a lot faster, but it's because I'm talking. And let me get down to business here, y'all. I'll show you how super fast it really is. And a lot of times I'll go ahead and run it through the powder twice just to get good coverage. Like each time I do a base coat, then I'll dip twice and then tap off the excess. And this dries pretty much instantaneously. It's like I said, it's very similar to super glue, so it dries fast. You just need to give it a few seconds and make sure, because you see here how I got some dip in there. That's from not letting it dry good enough. And you can do this however you want. You could go do one dip of clear, all the nails, or one dip of color, and then go back and do your second layer, which is actually probably better, because it gives you that extra dry time that you probably need. Actually, that's usually how I do it, so I really don't know why I'm doing it this way right now. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Just painting on a thin layer of base coat all over the nail, taking care to avoid the cuticle and skin. Now this is one I'm going to try to repair. I don't think I can. I'll see. Let me see. I'll hit it with that second layer when I come back. All right. Now this one is the one we did the tip on. Exactly the same. If you saw me, I was filing the fake nail where it meets my natural nail, kind of filing it down so it's more even, so you don't get that weird bump. Also, make sure that if you're using fake nails, make sure that they fit your nail bed appropriately. If not, you can take your heavy grit file and file it down to fit. Just file it a little bit on the sides, and that will work perfectly. All right, I don't know, did I do 2 coats on this one? I don't think I did. Or did I? I don't remember. If anybody knows, tell me. Doesn't really matter. I'm just... Dean, would you bring me a paper plate, please? Dean, what? Will you bring me a paper plate, please? Thank you. Okay. I got some clear dip on these, but it ain't gonna matter. All right. So I'm really quickly... I know I did that thumb twice. Oh, and you're going to want to do something called cap the ends, which means get a little bit of the base coat.
Did you say cat?
Shh, I'm live. No, I did not say cat.
Oh.
I said plate. She was in here.
Cap the ends.
Cap the ends.
Cap. Oh.
She was in here jumping all over the table. She had never done that before.
Jumping on the table.
Thank you, Bubby. Right in the middle of my live a while ago.
You get more views that way.
You think?
Yeah.
Would she help?
Probably.
Bring her in here and stick her in front of the camera. I mean, not for that reason, but just so everybody can see her. Look, Muffin. Look, right there. Look.
Oh.
Okay, maybe not.
Yep, she doesn't like being in here.
She's got camera fright. Stage fright. Camera shy. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and I'm just using my nail to kind of even that up. You can do it with the cuticle pusher. You can do it with an orange stick, a toothpick, anything you have handy. The fun stuff is going to be the color. Capping the ends keeps water and stuff from getting underneath, and that can cause early lifting. Hey, Rebecca, you saw my baby? My big baby and my feline baby. My big baby's really big. She's a little mess. She's so much fun. Okay. That does it. We did 2 dips of clear. And like I said, it's not necessary to do the clear. All that does is give you a good base so that if you want to change color, you can just file it off. It also helps with strength. Keeps you from using up all your glitter or your color that you're using or whatever, because it gives you those extra layers and it's just the clear. So that's a way to preserve your colors a little bit more. Some people don't need four layers. Most do 3 layers. Some do 4. I think some do 2. But me personally, I usually can't get good coverage when I just do 2. So I always do 3 or more. 3 or 4. That's usually what I do. All right, so I'm done with the clear for now. I may dip the top with clear. I haven't decided yet. I don't normally do that. I don't think I've ever actually done that. Just gonna brush this off really good. Some people take a lint-free cloth or an alcohol wipe and wipe it off. I don't remember if they do it after they activate. All right, let me see. I don't want to be fouling at this too much with the color on. I'm going to try to shape that a little bit and blend that spot in. You see it's kind of broken a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see that. Just like the edge is like missing. I'm just trying to even it up a little bit. And these are my natural nails except for that one. We did put a tip on that one because it was so super short. All right, here we go. Here's the fun stuff. This is going to be our Blue Empress. Like I said, the glitters come in the smaller container. I'm going to put it in that cupcake liner. Can y'all see that? It's in a cupcake liner so it catches any spillage, and then we'll just pour it right back in the bottle when we're done. And again, we're going to do somewhat thin layers. You don't want to get it too thick because that's when you can end up with the bumps and then this one's a lot more full, so I'm trying to be really careful and not get that bump going on that I was talking about earlier. And again, you can touch the dip and push it down if you need to. If it's bumpy in one section, you can push it down before your base coat dries. Aw, how old's your kitty? And what's its name? Cats can be quite the stress reliever. They can also be a stress inducer. One day, Muffin was just into everything. Like, it's like her curiosity all of a sudden, or her curiosity gene all of a sudden got woken up, and she was into everything. I finally called Dean and said, come get this cat and take her to your room. I need a break. This actually does a lot better if you don't get the base coat down on your cuticle, but I'm really bad about that. I really like this blue. I'm not normally a blue person, but I like this blue a lot. We have some great colors. Like I say, if you want to see any of the colors in person, just let me know. I've got swatches of almost everything. There's a few I don't have. A few of the new colors that rolled out. Look at that. See how you can see through it? That's one reason why I do at least 2 layers. Can you see the light coming through the tip? Not sure how old his name is Mr. Kitty. Oh, how cute. I was worried. This cat was so little when we got her, and Greg named her Muffin. And I said, what if she's a boy? And I got to thinking, what will we do? Like, would we change her name? And then I thought, nope, I'm just going to add stud in front of it if it's a boy, and it'll be Stud Muffin. But I'm pretty sure she's a girl. We haven't seen any little dingleberries. Sometimes the little dingleberries don't get, they don't drop when they're really young until they're a little bit older. But the vet's going to check tomorrow, as a matter of fact, to make sure she's a girl. This color is gorgeous. And I'm picking it up just so I can kind of control how my nail goes into it. I don't normally pick it up. You can leave it sitting right in there. And like I say, it catches all the spillage. If anybody has any questions, just ask. All right, now, I'm trying to decide which brush to use. I'm going to use my darker one. It actually helps to clean it out before you use it. That actually helps. All right, one more layer, and then I think I'm going to do that accent nail that I talked about. And if I was doing these without being live, it would go much faster. It takes me about 20 minutes to do a full set. That's from start to finish. And they dry pretty much immediately. All the layers. The activator is one that you want to make sure is really, really dry. That's our next step. We're doing our base coat still. Once we get these like we want them, then we're going to do the activator coat. And after that is when you would file and buff. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm committing a cardinal crime or whatever, but I tend, as long as it looks like it's relatively smooth and like I don't have any major bumps, I'm not going to file these glitters because I'm not going to go back over it with clear. I'm pretty sure technically we're supposed to file it. Your kit comes with an instruction card as well. So it ain't like you're going to get a kit and not know what to do with it. It comes with instructions. But I usually shape my nails either when I do the clear layer or before I even get started. I have to be really careful though because my nails are so thin that I can rip them by using just a file on them. So I have to be really careful if I do it like that. Yes, 2 to 3 coats depending on what you're comfortable with. And also depending on what color it is. And you don't have to do the clear. You can just do the color. Like, you can do 2 to 3 layers of just color. There's nothing at all wrong with that. The benefit of doing the clear underneath is if you want a color change, instead of doing a whole new set, you can just file off that color. And it also saves your glitter. Like if you're using, or saves your color. If you're, if you need 3 to 4 layers of product to make your nails strong enough, and you're doing 2 clear and then two of the glitter or 2 of the solid, whatever, you're saving your product, your container of product that way. You're still using the clear and you would have to get more clear, but you don't have to buy your colors that often. You don't run out as fast. I have so many colors though. Did I do my ring finger already? I forgot. I forgot where I left off. Have I done 2 layers of all these? I don't even know. All right, so here we go. This is what we got right now. Can y'all see that? Is it focusing? That's gorgeous, y'all. I hope y'all can see how pretty that is in person. All right, I'm going to actually pour my excess dip. I didn't lose a lot, just a little bit. I'm gonna pour it back into the container. Just kind of fold it over, tap it a little bit, and it pours right back in the container so you don't lose it. Put the lid back on. All right. I am going to go ahead and do this for the accent nail and see how it looks. But I like the glitter. I think I'm going to leave the glitter. You know what? Let's do a swatch. Let's do a swatch instead. Say hey when you hop on. That way, if I don't like it, I haven't messed up my nail and I don't have to. You know what? No. I'm going to go ahead and finish this out for anybody that's pressed on time. And then I'll do that at the end. And then when I go to freshen it up right before we fly to Florida, I will add that accent nail if I decide I want to do that. I'm just trying to file that clear off there that I got on my nail when I was... Thank you. All right, so this layer is Activator. Now, this is another tip. A lot of people do recommend this. If you can see, these are both the very same product, Activator. This, you see, is clear. You see this one is all red. So there's no way to keep the pigments from getting into the bottle. So the dark colors, I actually use this. Again, if you're doing like a really light baby pink or something, or even white or whatever, and you use this on top of it, it's going to turn it red. It's going to give it a pink sheen. So this is for my dark colors, black, red. This one could go either way. I'm going to use the clear on this one. Let me make sure I brushed off really well. Because with me talking, I lose track of where I'm at and what I've done and what I need to do still. And we're going to activate. Now this is where, if you see, this is, I mean, you know, it ain't going nowhere. It's basically like super glued to my fingernails. But this activator is what's going to actually harden everything. So you actually want to be very liberal with this product. You want to, because it has to penetrate all those layers and kind of fuse everything together. So I'm putting a good coat of activator on. It actually gets a little sticky too, so it's very thin. The activator is thin, like the consistency of water or alcohol or something like that. It's very watery, so it applies and it spreads out pretty easily. We're going to do 2 layers of activator. If you need to file and buff, after that second layer dries, that's when we would file and buff. And then once we're done filing and buffing and shaping, we're going to do another layer of activator. I'm not going to file them though. At least I don't think I am. Because so far I haven't seen any spots that are bad or anything. And again, if you file the glitter like with the file, it will actually rub some of the color off and you'll be left with a little bit of silver in there. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If that's your OCD issue, it'll bother you. It's actually pretty with some of the colors to have a little bit of silver sprinkled throughout, so it's just a matter of preference. But I personally don't like to file my glitters after the fact unless I absolutely have to. And if I do, then I will dip again in glitter again in the color. I'll do another base coat and another dip into the glitter if I were to have to file a spot and end up with silvery glitter peeking out. Okay, this is layer 1 of the activator. I'm getting all of the nails. I didn't activate these before. I dipped them off camera to save some time because this is my right hand doing with my left hand. I know it looks backwards to you guys, but this would have been me doing it with my non-dominant hand. So I didn't want to do that on camera because it's a little awkward sometimes, although I'm a lot better at it than I thought I would be. Look, that kind of enriches that color a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm going to have to do some video outside and show y'all how pretty this color truly is. All right, one way you know that your activator has cured. Let me see. All right. Can y'all hear that? It's not really clicking. It's not making a clicky noise like it would if it was on a hard surface. That. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit more. It's got to get down into those. It's got to get all the way through all 4 layers. So it takes a little bit. And the glitter actually may be harder to do than that. want your activator to dry really good because that can also make your brush hard. I was talking earlier about how our brushes are actually able to be replaced because it pops out of the white piece. This piece here, the brush actually comes out. And okay, it's starting to harden. I can hear the difference. I'll show you in a second. I don't know if you can tell. It sounds a little clickier, but it's still not hard. Your base coat and top coat are the only two really that you ever have to switch out. Now we do have a fifth step, which is the brush saver. And if you start noticing your brush is going hard or whatever, you can wipe it off really well. That's another reason why I have these. They're lint free, and they're thick they're thicker than a dryer sheet. It's almost like they're made out of the same stuff as a dryer sheet. I'm just BSing while this stuff dries, y'all. That's all I'm doing. Still need to let it harden a little bit. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, you clean your brush off really good with these. Some of our consultants actually wash them with soap and water and let them dry and then switch them. But you can actually take your base coat brush, wipe it off really well with a lint-free cloth. You don't want to use anything that gives you lint. Like, no, paper towels are okay, but like something like this would be much better. Or you can wash it like they do. I've not done that, so I'm scared to do that. But you just swap them out. You just make sure that you get all the brush saver. Again, this is like liquid. This is like watery, like the primer and the activator. But you would take a lint-free cloth and you would actually just wipe the whole thing off really, really well. These, we actually sell these in the on the website. I think we have them listed by themselves. If not, they come with the dip removal kit, which is some clips that you can clip on. The dip removal kit is this piece here, and you can actually pump it like they do at the salon. Get a pump of the acetone, and you put this over your nail, and then put the clip on, and that you can remove your nails that way. That's really good, like if you're sitting watching TV and you don't want to like sit there and mess with them. Like, you know, I was soaking them off earlier myself. If I was sitting watching a movie, that wouldn't be very conducive because I'm likely to spill everything. Anyway, you just wipe this off really good. Make sure this is dry. This is the one they wash, I know, with soap and water. And they make sure it's super dry. And then you would just swap the brushes. Your brush that's hardening or getting gross or whatever out of your top coat or base coat would go into the brush saver. You can shake it up really good and let it sit for a little while, and then it's good to go again. So that's really handy. I don't use it too terribly much because I don't have issues. All right, this is a lot harder now. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference. It's making that clicky noise. Okay. So I'm going to go over it with the second layer of activator, which I think I already did this one twice, but I don't remember. I know I did this one twice, but I didn't do any of the rest of them. So I'm going to get all those with activator really good. Again, that activator is going to seep down through all those layers, and it's going to make that really hard surface. And if this was a solid, I most likely would do a little bit of filing and buffing, but because it's the glitter and you can rub the color off with the file, I don't file and buff my glitter unless I absolutely have to. Just personal preference. If I did the clear, I would have done one more layer of base coat and then one layer of clear over the top, and then you can file that and get the good, smooth surface without messing up your glitter color. It actually probably makes a difference not to file it. That's one reason why mine feel, sorry y'all, hubby was calling. Hopefully he gets a clue. I told him I was going live. I told him to come join me. All right, while these harden, I'm actually going to do this swatch really quick. Where's my glitter dip? Right here. And I just bought these from Amazon. I kind of thought I'd want to play. I do every now and then mix up my own custom colors. That's something that's been fun too, is that you can make your own custom colors. If we don't have a color that quite fits what you're looking for, there's all kinds of combos. I have a folder posted on my Dipping with Pennie Facebook page. The not the VIP group, but the Dipping with Pennie page, which is in my profile of my personal page. What am I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, shoot. What was I saying? Dean, what was I just saying?
What?
Never mind. He doesn't know. It just went right out of my head, y'all. What was I telling y'all? Oh, there's an album in there with custom colors all mixed up. And kind of like how to do it. There's no science to it. Just play around. And I actually have these tiny little containers that I started with. I actually have some coming today, I believe, that are bigger. They're actually this size, coming from Amazon, to mix up some custom colors. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I was telling y'all earlier about when I did the red glitter and then I dipped the plain red over it, and you ended up being able to see the glitter underneath, and it was actually really, really pretty. So that's what I'm seeing is what it looks like with the blue. See there? You can tell where I got my dip, my base coat thicker in some areas and thinner in others. That's why you need multiple dips in the colors, so that you get all those places where you didn't quite get it thick enough. So, ooh, that's still wet down there. It's because that nail doesn't quite fit in that container, that's why. Okay, brush it off. I'm going to do a second layer so I get good coverage. And I would suggest that if you're going to get any swatch sticks to play with, get the color of nail that you use. I actually have both. I have the milky white nail, fake nail tips, and I also have clear. So it depends. Sorry. I told him I was going live. I guess he forgot. Dean, send your dad a text and tell him I'm live. Tell him I'll call him in a minute. All right, this one I definitely need a cupcake liner because this one's going to be full because this is brand new. My son did not hear me. He wears those stupid noise-canceling headphones. Dean!
What?
Text your dad. Oh, I didn't know you heard me. Y'all, this has shimmer in it. Oh my gosh. This is like a Tiffany. Hang on. It's kind of like a Tiffany blue with shimmer. I didn't know it had shimmer. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. Let me see. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Can y'all tell? I don't think you can. Anyway, it's gorgeous. It's got little tiny, just tiny shimmer in it. So pretty. All right. All right, so we're not going to have any idea if this works until I activate it and do top coat and everything. While it's activating. And since there's only going to be 3 layers of this one, it won't take as long. And it may not work like the red did. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. I didn't realize it had shimmer. I'm so excited. Hey, baby. We cannot what? You can't see the sparkle? I'm sorry I kept denying your phone call, but I was right in the middle of my live. Was it something that you needed or you were just calling? Here, let me get this one more time. Then I'm gonna activate this, and then while this is activating, we're ready to do top coat on my actual nails. Can y'all hear? Can you hear how they're clicking so they sound? Yeah, they're good and hard, so they're ready for top coat. So let me brush this off. Now this one I will probably have to buff a little bit. I don't know. Activator. I don't know. Do I use my red activator or do I use my clear? This is one of those iffy colors. I'm going to use my clear one. If I end up transferring blue in there. That's pretty. Oh, and it does have blue in it. Okay, I'm going to wipe it off a little bit. You will want to hear this. Oh. I'm almost done. You know how I don't do well with secrets. Like I'm dying already to find out what you're talking about. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry. We just did the activator on that, so I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna do top coat on these. So this is the final step, and I'm gonna do 2 top coats because the first one, some of the other consultants and people that use this product, they'll actually take an alcohol wipe, like just a regular alcohol pad wipe, or even one of these, and wipe really good. That gets any dust or whatever, loose powder or anything like that may have gotten on your nails. Gets rid of it. See, this bottle is also stuck. All you have to do is pop that, just sit that down on it, like not screw it back on, but just sit it down on top, and then just kind of lean it from side to side, and that breaks the seal. And then screw it on so that it gets it up in there where it's supposed to be, gets it seated again, and then you're good to go. And there's a gasket inside. I meant to say this earlier when I was doing the base coat. The base coat and the top coat both have a gasket inside. You're not gonna wipe on the top of the bottle like you would with regular polish, like up here, because that's gonna glue your lid shut. You're gonna drag it up through, and it's a little awkward figuring it out, but you can look down in there and see that gasket, and you're gonna kind of drag it up the side to get the excess off. And that way you're not getting it on the threads or the lip of the bottle. So, honey, are you still on? If you are, do you like this color? This is the one you picked. If you don't, you can tell me, but I'm loving it. You really can't see it that well in here. I'm gonna have to do it outside. Hey, Shay. Yeah, they are blue. That's the color you picked. Are they too blue? I think you might have had the other one more in mind. The one I showed you, this is the one that was on the left though. But I'm thinking the one on the right is the one you meant. I'm just quickly doing my top coat. Just one good layer on each nail, and by the time I get to the last nail, should be dry. And again, I'm capping the ends. Did you see me doing it up around the edge of the nail, the free edge? You're going to want to do that to give you a really good encapsulation so that no moisture gets in there and just kind of seals everything together. In the picture, remember the picture I sent you? It was left for both of us because it was in a text message. I'm loving it though. See, doing this has really gotten me outside my box because I would never go to the nail shop and get something like this done. But knowing that tonight, if for some reason it was bugging me, I could do them a different color. It's a no-brainer. It's fun to play. think I did 2 layers of activator on the nail swatch over there, didn't I? It's going to be dry by the time we're done here. And again, resist the urge to wipe it across the top of the bottle because that's what's going to glue your bottle shut. Just kind of back and forth in there along that gasket. Gets the excess off. A lot of them suggest using an alcohol wipe to clean the threads of the bottle. I don't do that because you can also contaminate that way. So I just don't. I mean, if I have a problem where it's really like gluing tightly shut and I can't get into it and whatever, then I would probably do something different. But if it's just a matter of that brush being stuck like it was both times that I showed y'all how to pop it loose, that's not a huge deal. So I'm not worried about it. Did that make sense? I don't even know if that made sense. And this is Blue Empress is the color that I'm using. I'm gonna, you know what? I'll just take you guys down and go outside if I can get the phone off without too much trouble. Do you like it really? Because this does not look like something you would normally pick. All right, all right, listen. That was the first nail I did. It's already hard, so it's ready for my second coat of top coat. This second layer does not seem to dry as quickly as the first. And some nails, for some reason, dry faster than others. It has to do with the activator. It has to do with if there's any damp spots in the activator or if there's any places maybe you didn't get activator. Just make sure they're not tacky because so many times I get in a big hurry and I touch them and they're still tacky. And again, when I'm not talking and when I'm really getting down to business, I can do a full set in about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how many dips I'm doing. Love you, babe. If you're still here, I will. This is my left hand I'm painting with, so it's a little awkward. Let me know if anybody has any more questions. These are the kind of colors that get people asking you questions about your nails. Where'd you get your nails done? I did them myself at home. What? Actually, Disco Fever is one that did too. That's a really eye-catching one. It's holographic glitter, so it's a silver base with the holographic pieces in there, so a bunch of different colors. All right, so here we go. This is it. I want to, okay, still a little bit damp. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna let these dry. I'm going to go outside and take you with me if I can get, okay, there we go. I was gonna say I don't know how to turn her off while I'm on the phone. All right, I'm going outside in the sunlight. And I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like in the sunlight. The glitter colors are amazing outside. I'm gonna flip it around. What do you think? My fingernails will look much better when I do the cuticle oil on there. So there we go. I'll show you the other hand. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just comment below or send me a message. Thanks. Bye.